ago, we had your boy KG on here, and he shared some great history about kind of the origins of Divine Mill, and he shared some interesting stories with us, especially about, you know, how you guys came on the tour bus when Naughty by Nature was on tour in Minneapolis, and also about how he kind of had almost the original making the band situation at his house when he had signed his original artist. So take us back to those moments, and then please you remember.
Well, it's funny, when the guys met Kay, I was actually at Soundcheck. We were opening up for Aaliyah the night before.
Wow.
Naughty performed at First Avenue like on a Saturday. Aaliyah performed, you know, First Avenue from Purple Rain and all that. So Aaliyah performed at Glam Slam, which was Prince's club, the night before, and we were opening. So we were like, okay, we're opening for Aaliyah, perfect. I'm at Soundcheck. They're at the Mall of America getting wardrobe. They run into KG. KG, you know, they talk or whatever, and they said, come to the show. So we went to the concert that Saturday, and we left a demo with Kay. He had it on the tour bus. So all of a sudden, Brother Jules, who was Prince's DJ, was on the tour bus talking to Kay, and Kay was like, I'm looking for talent. You know, who's the hot, you know, groups here? And he looked down, and our tape was right there, and Brother Jules said, that's the dopest group in the city right there. They're the truth. And all of a sudden, Kay calls us, and I'll never forget it. We were flown out. We thought it was a joke, but we were flown out to New York. And we had on, like, flip-flops, American country with, like, sweatsuits on. We literally got off the plane, were picked up, and went straight to the Apollo. We were at the Apollo when it was like I think Biggie performed, AZ, Puff was there, the Lost Boys, and Naughty by Nature. So we looked down and they had like these church fans on the seats, and it said Illtown's Fat New Lineup or something. And it had all these different groups, but it also had Straightforward, which was the name we went by at the time. It had the name of our group on this church fan. We were like, wait, what? After the show, we go to Kay's house. He got this big old mansion. We go to this house. He has the Naughty by Nature pool, the basketball court, all these different things. We're like, what in the world? We go to sleep. We wake up, and they're setting up in the back by the pool. They ended up having his first annual Boogie Land party. I'm talking about Mike Tyson, Queen Latifah. Anybody you can think of that was a star was at this cookout. So this is our first taste of being around people. We're not signed anything. And the next thing you know, boom, we're with Kay. But I was the youngest out of my group, so all of the guys would go home. They had significant others, girlfriends, whatever, children, whatever, so they would get to go home. I didn't really have anywhere to go because my parents had recently left Minnesota and moved to San Diego. So I'm like, I don't have anywhere to go. I was sleeping on the floor at KG's back house, in the room next to Jaheim. So every time I would hear Kay come in, I would literally run downstairs, make sure I was dressed, teeth brushed, run downstairs and just sit in the studio with him. So that's how I was able to write so many records for Jaheim and for Next, because guys would go home to visit their families, and I literally lived, ate, drank, slept, breathed music. So I was at an advantage to learn under one of the best producers of my generation, of the generation before. So that's how it started. Well, right now, for me, this is 2019 is the farewell tour of Next in my mind. Unless God has other plans after this year, it probably is a wrap as far as, you know, we might do shows here and there, but I don't even know. Like, we have a whole album done, but I couldn't have said it better. I'll say this.
Sometimes you said farewell tour, RL?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, I haven't even. I said I kind of alluded to that under one of my posts, but I haven't really even spoken openly about it. It's disappointing because, you know, Tom, I know you know all the things that we went through as a group. You got calls and texts and emails. You know, I already know. But I love my group members. I'm probably closer to Tilo now than I am Tweet, and it used to be the opposite. And they're real brothers. So you have different dynamics. They're real, grew up together, same house brothers. So regardless on how wrong one might be, they're always going to be brothers, and you never can forget that. They're great guys. We make a great team. It's never been about, you know, thinking, oh, I'm better than the group or bigger than the group, because when I wasn't in the group for those years, everybody thought that I got the big head and went solo. They didn't realize that I was actually put out of the group They didn't realize that the name that I came up with was secretly trademarked behind my back, and I recently just got a part of the trademark back. But I'll say this. Sometimes it's about the people you surround yourself with, because I'll take Tweet. Tweet is super talented. He's never been the vocalist in the group, even though he can sing, but he played his role. He was the spokesperson. He was the body of Next. He was the personality of Next. But if somebody's in his ear like, you need to do more, you could do more, why don't you rap? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Then you start thinking, man, I do need to do more. Because now when you have success and you have the resources, you move away. You're not around each other every day. We were dependent on each other coming up. I didn't have a car. We had to wait for T-Lo. So we had to be around each other. I want to go to the mall. I want to go shopping. Got to wait for T-Lo. We were always together. When success comes and you have your own, you have your little paper, you got your own place, all of a sudden you get different friends you're around. A girl, you grow. You might have a family. So now you have different influences, and they're telling you different things. We did a whole album, and I heard that some of my music, I heard my music was dated. But the record that I just did on Duval, I recorded in 2014 or 15. So if it's so dated, how is it climbing the charts? But this came from one of my own group members. So now, he wants to do rap. He feels like he wants to do a whole different vibe. I understand that because I've been there. I've been in a place where I've doubted what I know, the integrity of music. You start listening to the radio and you go, well, maybe what I do is whack. Maybe I need to do what's on the radio. Maybe I need to be more trendy. And what happens is I call it musical menopause. You get older, you get a few gray hairs, you start looking in the mirror and you're like, am I still this? Can I still do this? You start questioning all the things that you've built up, all the skills that you've learned over the years of being in this industry. And it took me a while to go, no, let me do what I know, because I don't want to be dated, but I also don't want to be that dude that you hear a song and you go, man, he doing that too? Like if I wanted that, I could go buy, to the lollipop store and buy that. So we are separating. I'm working on a project for T-Lo because I think he could be the new Dave Hollister / Gerald Levert. He's the teddy bear. He has that smooth voice, and he's just never put himself in the forefront like that. So we're going to be doing different things. Tweet's working on a rap project with his son, and I wish that well. But my favorite saying is, I wish everybody well, I just wish me better. So I'm working on me over here. I got the Duval record. We also have another single that we did on Duval that has 7th Streeter that's incredible. Hopefully that'll come out. We have the remix for Pull Up that has 2 Chainz on it, but we have another whole different remix with 2 Chainz and another big rapper. We're looking for another rapper. We'll see if Duval wants to even release it. But, I mean, with groups, sometimes it's egos, but a lot of times it's the opposite. It's insecurity that pushes you away from each other. So it's not even about, I think I'm better or bigger than the group. It's, well, maybe this isn't working. Maybe I'm not hot enough. Maybe I need to do something different. So a lot of that is misconstrued as ego or big head. It's not that. I mean, I love my group. I love the guys. I know with 112, over years, things happen and you don't deal with them and it becomes work, when before it was a passion and fun and family. And it becomes like that with every group. Somebody pisses you off, you're like, I'm not even going to say nothing. But then all of a sudden it just grows and grows, and you finally start looking at that person that you grew up with broke. Now you got money and you're looking at them funny, and it's whack, but that's what happens.
Wow. It's tough to hear, man, about Next, potentially this being the final run. It's, there's a legendary legacy you'll be leaving behind, and, even though you're confident in your direction, it's still tough to hear it,
Oh, no, for me too. I mean, again, I said unless God has other plans, because there's no ego here. My main objective is to make good music, feed my family, and continue to have fun. So when you're on the road and you're making money, yet a trip is coming up and you're stressed because you got to be around people and, you don't know what's going to happen or who's going to be around, because all of a sudden you have different people that got hangers on, and now the dressing room, which we have a rule that says, you look at like the NFL or the NBA. Before the game, who's in the dressing room? The team and the coaches. That's it. After, the game and, after the shower, then the media and families let in. Well, what happens if you come in the dressing room and there's no room for the artist to sit because there's too many people in there and it's loud and you can't even focus? There's different things that happen, and you say you're in the dressing room and you go, well, these are my people. I should have whoever I want to hear. I'm a principal. well, it's not about what you want. It's about what's the best thing, what's the best environment for the product to flourish, for us to be comfortable when we get on stage. After we get on stage, it's whatever you want. But what about before? But it started becoming a whose thing is bigger, whose balls are bigger type situation.
Oh, man.
Well, I want this, and I want this. Well, I need this here. This ain't here. I need this. My people need passes. It's just a bunch of things that have nothing to do with the performance or the music that come in to play for every group. So that's what it is.